guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, October 27th, 2015. This is Jennifer. So we're back in my sewing room today to share another Talk to Me Tuesday. It was really fun doing 3 weeks in a row outside, but I unfortunately don't have a completed quilt to show you guys today. But that's totally okay because 3 in a row is pretty darn good. I do have on my design wall the Project of Doom signature quilt top. This is all 90 blocks. It's 89 blocks from participants plus my block. I know this wasn't everyone, so there were quite a few more people that participated that just didn't get a signature block, and that's okay. That's okay. But this top is done out to where I need to make some decisions on the borders, and I haven't decided that yet. I'm going to step over a little bit so I can show you the pattern that I ended up going with. This is the block. So it's 2 triangles with another half square triangle. What I tried to do was really feature this diamond shape. I tried to feature the signature blocks in the center, and then you get this sort of continuous zigzag pattern going on here. So the big diamonds are all the signatures, and then these guys are the other pieces in those blocks. So I'm super happy with it. I think it came out really nice. I just need to make a decision about the borders, and I have no idea what that's going to be. I've continued to post stuff on sewhook.com for the 31 days of Halloween, and one of the things that I posted last week was a revamp of something that I did years ago, as in like 1996 or 7 years ago. I think it was 97. So I did an updated version of a banner I made for our door many years ago. This is the banner. It's a piece of black felt, and believe it or not, this is orange denim. This is actually denim that I probably bought as a remnant all those years ago. So I made this just out of stuff that I had. I specifically remember drawing her with chalk on felt and how hard that was to do. So anyway, we had this for years, and for a long time this is what we hung on our door for Halloween. So she's a little worse for wear, but I decided to take her and I redrew this witch, and it made her a little more curvy and a little bit more, you know, just not so traditionally scary witchy, because, you know, witches aren't necessarily scary. So I redid her and drew her, and this is a smaller version, but you can make her any size you want. And believe it or not, she's applique, which, as you guys know, it's not necessarily my thing, but I'm very happy with her. She still needs to be stitched down because I honestly just haven't had time to do that. So she's not stitched down yet, but she is ironed on. I think I'm going to save this. I've got a bunch of stuff set aside for a Halloween quilt, and I think I'm going to save her for that. I have been working on a couple of other things, primarily designing one of the events for Fandom and Stitches for 2016, which I can't share with you guys yet. I'll probably announce that in the next couple of weeks. And that'll be our January event. The only other thing I really want to work on is my UFO list that I made in January, and it hasn't gotten a lot of love this year, so I really do want to work on that. So just as a reminder, this was my Finish It in 15 list. Number 1 is As You Wish, and this quilt is actually at the quilter, and I did not give her a deadline. Her tentative deadline is my birthday, which is not until April of next year. So this is not marked off the list, but it is in progress. The second thing was a Frogger quilt, which I finished way earlier in this year and donated to Linus. This is my orphan blocks, which are ongoing. I work on that all the time, so I just want to keep it on my list so that I don't forget that that's a thing that I have to work on. This is my HP swap quilt. That is in progress. It's being quilted, and I actually stopped quilting it right before I stopped using my baby lock machine, because that is the quilt in which my stitches started skipping really badly, and I took it to get it fixed and found out my timing was off and just all of this stuff, and I never got back to it. So what I need to do is pick out some stitches that were really bad and just finish quilting it. It is probably half quilted already. My vintage quilt top is still hanging with a quilt back, and I just need to quilt it. There and Back Again is already basted. Needs to be quilted. My Australia quilt, that turned from a big pile of fabric into a quilt top this year. So if I don't get anything else done on that, I will be happy. Would love to get it quilted. I do have a back for it. I do have batting for it. So it's on the list of things that just need to be quilted. My embroidered flower quilt, same list, just needs to be quilted. Topsy Turvy Trees, same list, just needs to be quilted. Paper Piecing Vintage Signature Quilt. Sadly, I finished this year's Block of the Month signature top before I finished last year's Block of the Month signature top. So That I'm probably going to get pulled out because I'm inspired by getting the Project Doom signature top in process, and I'm going to get that put together. And this was a PS down here. It says Carol's quilt, which is the quilt that I finished for my mother-in-law to give to my niece. So it went from being Carol's quilt to being Amelia's quilt. Carol was my mother-in-law. That is my list. Most of these are things that need to be quilted, so we'll see. If I can get a couple more things basted, maybe I can finish a few more. I'd like to at least get the Paper Piecing Vintage signature blocks put together, and I would like to get the Harry Potter swap quilt finished because it's like already halfway done. So you guys know I love a Halloween, and I've been working on the 31 Days of Halloween all month long. I started working on it in September, and I very sadly do not have a Halloween costume for this year. I work extremely well under pressure, and I am going to spend tomorrow thrift shopping and see if I can find something that just inspires me and gets me to thinking. I put Velma together last year, Velma and Fred actually, just a couple days before Halloween, so I'm really hoping that something will just jump out at me, and I will just be able to get in there and make this something for Halloween. My goal for Halloween for myself is usually something the trick-or-treaters will recognize, because that's a lot of fun for me to be able to be a character or a thing or whatever, something that the kids that come to my house to get candy will understand. So that's usually my goals. Hopefully I can come up with something awesome. So a little word about Worf. Yesterday my son came home from school and I was working at my computer and my back is to the door. He went by, his room is at the other end of the hall, and didn't say anything, went by, dumped his backpack and whatever, and then came out and said hi to me. And then later, I went downstairs to do some other stuff, and then I came back upstairs, and he had put Worf in my sewing room. The lights were off, I turned the corner, and I nearly had a heart attack. He thought it was great. My husband thought it was great. I was entertained. So apparently he has a friend who had acquired Worf from someone else and didn't really have a place to put it, wasn't a huge Next Generation fan, and so Gareth's like, I'll take it. So he brought Worf home and surprised me with Worf. Worf is actually, he belongs to my son, but he's on loan today for Talk to Me Tuesday, so I figured we'd have him in the video because, you know, who doesn't need an extra Klingon in their Talk to Me Tuesday video? So just a reminder, if you're going to do the postcard swap with Talk to Me Tuesday, that the list will come out today, and I will send messages to everyone that signed up with all of the email addresses, and you will make a postcard for every person on the list per the instructions that I will include, so you don't have to worry about listening to this part about that. I will type all that out for you guys. Also, don't forget to post your videos to ttmt.livejournal.com because you will have a chance to win some really fun prizes from Quilt Crazy, including some awesome Harry Potter figurines, depending on which prize you choose. And also tomorrow on Fandom and Stitches there will be 3 more smartphone quilt along blocks from Jennifer Rolls, and those are really awesome. So tomorrow is week 12, and I believe we go until December, so we just have maybe 6 more weeks left of that. So very awesome. We're getting near the end. And don't forget to check So Hooked for 31 Days of Halloween. I do have more Halloween stuff coming up this week, and we have a super fun special post on Fandom and Stitches on Saturday for Halloween, so don't miss that either. I think that is it, and hopefully next week I will have a retrospective piece on whatever Halloween costume I will hopefully come up with by this weekend. You guys have a great week, have a great Halloween if it's a thing that you celebrate, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!